You do this so fast, Matt. You know that? Okay, tell me what you're doing.
Well, in part because
I know, but
I will do like 400 or 500 of these a day on a busy day. These hasn't been so busy, so it's not so bad.
so what are you doing?
This is a plant that I bagged a tassel yesterday to collect pollen today. By bagging the tassel up the day before, it allows all of the pollen that may have blown in and landed on this tassel from neighboring plants. That pollen will die because maize pollen doesn't survive that long after it's released by the plant. And so now I'm going to take the pollen from this plant, and I've even written what plant I want to take it to. So this plant from family 314 is going to go onto an ear of plant 321-1, which, because we actually planned it well this time, they are next to each other. So I have a nice bag of pollen here with, you can see all that yellow powder in the bag is the pollen that came from this tassel, and a few anthers in there as well.
So the anthers release the pollen.
Right. The anthers, emerge from the tassel, and then a pore at the end of the anther opens up for the pollen to come out.
And how much pollen does each anther make?
Thousands of pollen grains from each anther.
So you could have 1 million or a couple million pollen grains in that bag.
Yep. And now I have this ear where the top of the bag has been folded to indicate that I prepared it by cutting back the silks yesterday. Now I have a nice little brush of silks to try to get all of the flowers flowing. I'm just going to dump all the pollen on there, so I'm only planning on making one pollination with that bag of pollen, though I had enough pollen I could have made multiple. And now, because of the way I want to do this, I'm actually going to take this bag of pollen from this plant and cross it in the other direction as a male onto this same plant as a female. And
now when do you come back? You're bagging up these ears.
So
how long
now
does
that
it
we've made
take?
the crosses, it'll take about, so the pollen lands and fertilization will occur within the next day, where the pollen actually will grow down to the base of the silk and deliver the sperm cells to fertilize the flowers and produce the seeds. It takes, then we have to wait for the seeds to mature before we actually harvest. So we'll come back and harvest these in about a month and a half.
Okay, so in a month and a half, that'll be a nice plump
Nice ear full of seeds.
Great.
That we will then look at and plant in the next generation.
Unless the squirrels and the raccoons
Unless the squirrels and the raccoons get it.